Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the November installment in our Image Wellness series. This is Chris Nussbaum, Social Support Specialist for our COVID Public Health Program here at the Image Center for People with Disabilities, a center for independent living based in Towson, Maryland. And today we're going to get to know one of our other programs in the intro that we do in our wellness series events. Kiana or I usually mention that there's a bunch of programs that we do at Image, and there are, but we only usually reference that there are a lot of programs and that we should go to the website to learn more about them, which we all should do at imagemd.org. But we're going to take this opportunity to spotlight one of those programs so that all of us can learn more about them. And that is the Out and About program. And you're going to hear from the people who make up the Out and About team. So, with that in mind, let me get out of the way and turn it over to my partner on the public health services team, who also pulls double duty and works on our Out and About team, Kiana, who's going to take this away and then introduce the rest of the Out and About team. Hey, Kiana.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah. So, as Chris said today, the Out and About team will talk about the Money Follows the Person program. We're also going to other community resources, and we'll talk about, if time permits, ways to not be as lonely during the holidays. So, Money Follows the Person is a Medicaid fund, Medicaid program that lets people who are in nursing facilities transition to the community, and it also provides them with services. So, I want to introduce our program manager, the wonderful Crystal Brockington.
Thank you, Kiana. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for coming in today. It's really awesome to see all of you. I see some familiar folk out there. Hey, Chilke. Anyway,
How you doing,
hey,
Crystal? How you been?
Kelly. So this we are the Out and About team. We have a lot of our team members on today. And pretty much Money Follows the Persons is a set of programs that are that is aimed to help people transition out of the nursing home and into the community, utilizing support from Medicaid, home and community-based services. It also can help people transition with other programs. If for some reason they're not eligible for Medicaid, home and community-based services, you can still access Money Follows the Persons funding, which is just a small amount of funding that might help with transition. It helps pays for programs that we run and Out and About. It covers outreach to nursing facilities. It covers peer support to people who are considering or looking to transition. And Money Follows the Persons also pays for program education, which are like some of the primary roles that the people on this webinar today actually fulfill those roles, and we'll tell you a little bit more about those. So pretty much it starts with peer outreach, where someone is reaching out to you saying, hey, do you know that this program can pay for your stay in a facility or care in the community or assisted living? And then from that point, if a person would like more information, it goes to program education and then ongoing peer support, where the peer support specialist can help you all. So from that, I'm going to toss the ball to our peer outreach associate, Chiffon Gray, to tell you a little bit more about what she does.
Can everyone hear me?
We can,
Okay, fantastic.
and so
Thank
can
you.
my screen reader. Sorry.
That's okay. I understand that one. Thank you, Crystal, for introducing me. She really is great with her employees. We love her. She really helps us and looks out for us and answers those hard questions that we absolutely can't answer. So with the outreach and peer support, what I do is I will either get a referral from a nursing facility, or the referral will come into Image Center. And what I will do is I will go out and do the outreach. I will either go to a facility that I'm assigned to, and I will speak to the residents one-on-one and ask them, hey, are you interested in transitioning back into the community through the Medicaid waiver program? And I will go ahead and explain to them how that works. And if they do qualify, because they do have to go through a qualification process, if they do qualify, then they will go on to the next step. So first, what I do is I go out and visit, or I'll get a referral from a social worker, and I will again ask them if they are interested in transitioning back into the community. And also, if they are interested, then I will pass that on to my colleague, which I'll introduce her in a moment. But in the meantime, I will do peer support as well. Myself and another colleague, Sandra, we will do peer support together sometimes, and we help them navigate through any questions they have. We help them also find a support planning agency, make sure all of their concerns and questions are answered. We help them with any resources such as assistive technology and or getting a government phone, whatever their specific need is, we will guide them to that resource, kind of hold their hand and help them through it so they don't feel like they have to figure all this stuff out on their own. But before we can get to all of that, we do send a referral in to the program director, Crystal, and then from that point, Miss Tiffany Martin Wills, who is the nursing facility program educator, she will evaluate them, and she will now talk about what she does after we get that referral and hand it over to that department. Take it away, Miss Tiffany.
Thank you, Chiffon. You pretty much told them what I do.
No, not at all.
So pretty much after Chiffon puts in the referral, I basically verify capacity of the resident, and if they are their guardian, if they are their own responsible party, I will reach out to the resident. If they're not, I will reach out to the resident's representative, whether it's a guardian or a family. And then I would actually just explain a little bit more about the program, just let them know what their options are. Basically, what it is that they would like to do once they return to the community, whether or not they want to go back to their own community or whether they want to do assisted living. And whatever that option is, if they want to move forward, I would help them with application assistance. So basically, I help them to fill out the application. After I help them fill out the application and I get signatures, I send it off to the state, and then that starts their Medicaid waiver process. So basically, I just help them with the application process and help them with information about the program as well. So that's what I do when I go into the facility. So I'll hand it back over to Kiana, because once I finish, I send my referrals to Kiana so that Kiana can help them with support planning agencies and all of that good stuff. So she helps them with all of the community resources that they need after I'm finished. Kiana.
Yes, thank you, Tiffany. And that is exactly what we do. So, once Tiffany lets me know that a person's app, when it comes to peer support, that a person's application has been submitted, I will help them get a support planner. And the support planner, you have to kind of treat as if that is your best friend. So the support planner is the one that will write up the person's transition plan and submit it to the state. And as Tiffany said, that could look like them wanting to get their own place or them going into an assisted living facility. The support planner is also in charge of the help them get any transitional funds if they are approved for the program. And that could be, them getting any type of furniture or them getting food, once they do make the transition. I also, and that brings us into some of the other community resources that we help people sign up for. So people might need to sign up for MTA mobility, or it could be some type of assistant technology. So, we're really here to help the person become as fully, to gain whatever they need to make a successful transition. Some of the other like community resources we help people out with is the like MD-TAC program, and it's something I'm forgetting.
There are definitely some other resources that we
Yeah,
help each
thank
other
you,
with.
Crystal.
No problem. But I just want to say everyone, really, there may even be other questions out here like, so what type of assistance? What is Medicaid home and community-based services? So I can give you a little more information about what that specific program is that many people utilize to pay for community care. Many people may or may not know that Medicare, the federal insurance, does not pay for in community services where you would have personal support in the home, or services where you would be able to receive help paying for assisted living. Like a lot of long-term care is not covered by Medicare. So the state operates the program, which they refer to as Medicaid Home and Community-Based Services, that does help people with some of those long-term care needs if they're interested in it. And so that would take us to a little more about that. You might say, well, how do I know if I'm eligible for that? Obviously, the best thing to do is to apply, because, no one on this call is an eligibility specialist. There are a lot of things that go along with eligibility, but typically you have to be financially eligible and medically eligible for the program. And currently, I believe the income guideline is something like, as long as your income is less than $2,829 a month, you may be eligible for this program. They do also have an asset limit of about $2,000. So you wouldn't have more than 2,000 in savings, money market accounts, or annuities, all that type of stuff. Those are the income guidelines for one person. But I would say if you are over income, or if you feel that you have assets that exceed that amount, but maybe you still feel like you would benefit from some type of Medicaid home and community-based service, don't be afraid to apply. There are some options for people who are over income, and then some people will work with a long-term care planning attorney if they're over asset. So you definitely still want to look into getting the help that you need to remain in the community, or to have that secure support in assisted living. Are there any questions about that part of it?
I do.
Hi, Chi, okay?
Hi, Crystal. How you doing?
Good.
Anyway, so what you're saying is, what is this about Medicare? You mean, because I have Medicare already.
Mhm.
Does this also go with people with Maryland Able as well?
Yeah, so Medicaid home and community space services is primarily related to medical insurance that will pay for some care in the community, like a personal attendant to come help you in your apartment or wherever it is that you're staying, or pay for you to receive support in assisted living. There are multiple levels of that program. that are aimed to provide specific support to people. So you definitely want to look into it more if you feel that you need help with activities of daily living or things of that sort. Now,
Oh,
the
you mean
Maryland Able account, just to be clear, that has to do with your finances. That does not have to do necessarily with your medical insurance. Your your Maryland
what
Able
about with
account
SSI?
allows you to have resources that exceed, that do not count towards your state benefits, right? So if you put
Right.
some of your resources into a Maryland Able account, if you're a person with a disability or with a developmental disability that wants to save resources towards various things. It could be maybe you want to save money to go to school or to purchase a home or different things like that. You're allowed to have up to a certain amount of money in a Maryland Able account that will not exclude you from accessing other state benefits, such as Medicaid. Does that make sense?
Yes. Does it also deal with SSI?
All of your income is counted as far as if you're looking at eligibility for Medicaid home and community-based services. So that would include your SSI. But then again, like I said, you mentioned you could have a Maryland Able account that might help you with the eligibility restrictions to the programs. So they will do, like, you will fill out an application and give them information they request regarding your personal income and finances. And then they will look at that information to determine if you're financially eligible.
Chris,
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Can you send this recording to my email?
I believe these recordings are posted online, but I will show you that we do have a resource sheet that we will send out to everyone. So I can make sure that you get the resource sheet that I share.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Are you guys gonna have anything in person at Image Center anytime soon?
Not right now in this wellness series. This is the last presentation for this year for the wellness series. And we will be, scheduling activities for the next year, but that's not out yet. So as soon as that comes out, I'll let you know.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chioke.
this is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, so a couple comments on, and I guess this might lead to a question, but a couple comments in response to Chia's question. So this is, I guess, an example of our Image Center programs working together, but I also work with our Bridges program, and Chia, Chioke, if you go over to the Bridges Resource Library page on our website, there's a lot of articles on there about how SSI works. And so that might also help along with what Crystal just shared. So what I might just add there about ABLE and SSI is that SSI limits how much is in your bank account, whereas ABLE doesn't. And so so ABLE is more of a savings account, I guess you might say. So there are a lot of, I guess, complexities to it, but Crystal's resources as well as Bridges might be able to help you with that. And also regarding your question about the recording, all of our recordings of these wellness events are posted to our YouTube channel. So you can find them on the Image Center of Maryland YouTube channel and also on the blog when we post the recaps. There's a link on there.
Oh, there's a link
to
on,
the
you
YouTube
mean on the
channel.
YouTube channel you're saying?
Correct. So
What comes on the link? Link.
when you click on it, it'll play the video.
You mean of this one right here?
Once we post it,
Okay. Yeah, but
yeah,
please send it to my email because I'd like to
you'll
send it to some other people.
if you look it up, you'll find it.
Well, the Image Center of Maryland.
Yep, that's right.
Yep. Okay, and I can definitely, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can show you all a little bit of what we're talking about here, so that if that helps you to get it. This is the Bridges website that is on imagemd.org. And you can walk through this if you want to, Chris. But you will see there's a little information about Bridges Technical Assistance. And then on the left, there's Bridges Technical Assistance Center. There are some quick links. And there's also a link about benefits to work, housing, happy homes, independent living. And this is where you would find some of that information that
Yeah.
I believe Chris is talking about.
Yep. Thank you. I can
Yeah.
find the direct link to the resource library and put that in
Yeah.
the chat
Yep,
too.
that was there on the left. So we have that, and we will put that in the chat. But this is the resource library. You can go in here and type in what it is that you're looking for, and it will pull up information related to your
Yeah.
topic.
So if you go in there and type in ABLE or SSI, there's a whole series about both. There are series about both that I think
Yep.
Carlton wrote them to like 5 or 6 parts on each.
Absolutely. And we have them here. I was able to type in SSI on the search, and there's 20 results that come up there.
There you
And
go.
then regarding our YouTube page, where you'll be able to see this, if you go to youtube.com and you type in Image Maryland, it will pull up the Image Center of Maryland's site, where you can click there and see any of the videos that we have posted previously. All of that information will be up there for you. Okay. Now, going back to the out and about process, I will take one more moment just to give you a little bit more information about Medicaid home and community-based services. So some of the services that are covered through Medicaid home and community-based services is, oh no, it didn't pop up. Hold on one sec. Let's see here if they got that up there. Okay, so those fact sheets did not pop up, but this is the general website right here for community services for older adults or people with disabilities. And some of the services that are covered are personal assistance services, personal emergency response systems, assistive technology, environmental assessments and modifications, environmental adaptations. That could be grab bars, that could be, ramps, things of that sort. They also offer support planning. So if you did apply for Medicaid home and community-based services and you wanted to utilize money files to persons to help you write up a plan for this transition, you would get a support planner that will help you access all of those resources that may be available through Medicaid home and community-based services and money files to persons. Nurse monitoring, home delivered meals, and along with the rest of your general medical benefits. That could be physicians, doctors, Medicaid transit, all of those things would be items that you may be eligible for, and the support planner would help you to access those. And if you chose to receive peer support, for nursing facility residents, if you are in a nursing facility, you do get priority processing for Medicaid home and community-based services, and you definitely can access the support of the out and about team, peer support. Your peer support specialist will kind of help you, navigate what resources and things it might be helpful for you to share with your support planner, like what types of assistive technology might you need. Maybe you're concerned that you can't get to the door. Some people will utilize like, one second. Some people will utilize like automatic door openers or install coded key fobs at their door, so that even if they can't get to the door to let emergency personnel in, that the emergency personnel would have that code and be able to get in an emergency. So there are all kinds of like things that can be done to help someone maintain their independence in the community or in an apartment or in assisted living. So it's worth exploring. The good thing about the nursing facility program education and out and about program is that you or either your alternate representatives and your family members, you don't have to have made the decision that I'm going to come out of the nursing home. You just have to be curious about what resources are out there, and we will help you and help you to become more informed about all of those resources. So if you do want to reach us, you can definitely reach us by emailing Image Center, and that's info@imagemd.org. You can also contact us by phone at 443-219-7407. We will be sure that someone gets back to you. So I think that just about covers Out and About. Can anybody else think of anything else that you might want to add about Out and About, or does anyone have questions about nursing facility transition services through Image Center?
So this is Chris. I have a question.
Sure.
I have been kind of watching from afar Kiana's work because I call Kiana all the time to talk about our wellness series events, and most of the time, Kiana, you're on mobility, going back and forth between nursing facilities, and I'm like, girl, better you than me. Um, but uh, I guess what I'm wondering is like, uh, the personal side of the nursing home transition. How does the information and referral work? Say, for example, you've got somebody who has a disability. I think of my own disabilities, but I don't know any disability. Um, and they are coming out of the nursing facility, where do they go
Well,
long term? Do we continue to have a relationship with them after they transition, or do we refer them to another place? Like, how does that work?
So I would say, with me, Chiffon, and Sandra, we do the outreach side of things. So we really get to know the residents on a one-to-one, like personal level. And I really enjoy, I mean, I know we all enjoy it, but you really get to see, like what their hopes and dreams are, like some of their goals. One of my clients, his thing was he wanted to get out of the facility so he could, have a closer relationship with his daughter. She was a teenager, and you don't have a lot of privacy in facilities. So that was like one of his goals. But once people transition, I do keep up with my client that has transitioned out of the facility. It's not a lot of kind of like resources and things that, he will call about, but, he'll call and just check up on, like how's life. And, it could be he got a girlfriend and he, called to let me know. And, so it's after a person transitions, you kind of keep up with them, but it's more on, if they need a resource, we're always here for them. But it gets to more like, how's life? And they're just kind of calling you to let you know how good things are going and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we definitely maintain some degree of relationship with them. I would say when they're actively in the transition process, we definitely are also focused on making sure that they know how to maintain contact with the people that are processing their application, that are writing up their transition plans, and also then once they finally transition, because transition takes time, and that's something if we haven't brought up, we definitely want to mention to people. Sometimes it could be 6 months to a year. We've had some people working on transition for 2 years, because there's also like the community living piece. Some people are looking for affordable, accessible housing, and things of that sort. I do know that people who tend to seek placement in assisted living may move along a little faster, but there are a lot of people in facilities that aren't looking for that type of assistance, that they would rather seek apartment living or perhaps returning to live with family of some sort. So it just, each case is different. But upon transition, we can maintain contact with them, like just on a personal basis. They may call us from time to time and say what they're doing, or if they have questions about ongoing goals and resources, like at that point, they may switch to independent living services through the center, because we do offer a lot of core services at the Image Center. We have information and referral, we have skills trainings, and that gives us a lot of ability to help people with kind of like community navigation and just, you know, we can help direct them to resources that might help them maintain their living in the community. Some of the resources, I'm going to share my screen again really quick, to show some of the supportive resources that we generally will share with folk. Some of those resources are mobility. So if a person was not able to secure mobility while in the nursing facility, if they transition and they don't have access to accessible transportation, we will continue to help them to at least make the move towards that. Like if for some reason, maybe they can't access the internet, maybe they can't download an application. Typically the process to access MTA mobility would be to download the application, and then you fill that application out. And let's see here, my screen is, I need to minimize that. So this would be the mobility application. We can either give that to people when they're in the nursing facility. We're also able to download it and email it if they can't get to it themselves. But you see here that there is kind of like 5 steps in here for doing that. So if a person is having some trouble with it, while we do not provide application assistance services, we can do what we can to try to help the person get through this process, because it can feel like a lot when you're trying to do a lot of things at one time. So we do try to help people navigate that MTA process. Again, that service is good to take people, I think it's within 3/4 of a mile of the regular bus route, or, subway, the regular public transit that's available through MTA. As long as the person is living within 3/4 of a mile of that service area, then they should be able to utilize mobility to access, their community. So that is definitely for Baltimore City and Baltimore County, which are our service area, includes Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Harford County. Okay, so there we go. That's mobility. Another one that comes up is housing search, because maybe, some people, maybe they had a stroke and you lost your housing. Maybe you just couldn't afford to pay for housing and pay for the facility at the same time. It's very sad. We come across a lot of people who will lose their housing in the process of receiving nursing facility services. So once they're ready to return, or they think they're going to be ready to return, we will refer them to different housing resources. mdhousingsearch.org is one of them. You can come to this website and search for affordable housing options by city, county, zip code. You can also look into accessibility options. At least that's a start to give you a list of affordable housing options, or to find rentals. We also have housing counseling available that will help to screen people for Section 811 and Weinberg housing. So we do direct people to an array of housing resources and help connect them to those people that can help them start that housing search or continue it if they leave the facility before they find affordable housing. We have a lot of peer support specialists also talk to people about accessible telecommunications. We come across a lot of people in nursing facilities that don't have access to a telephone, or perhaps they've lost hearing and need amplified communication devices. Perhaps they need video aids. The Maryland Accessible Telecommunications Program helps work with people to help them identify what their telecommunication needs are and access equipment that will meet their need. Another one that we utilize often is a assistive technology program, the Maryland Assistive Technology Program. It is an amazing program that will let you try things. They have a loan library that will help you try things out to see if it works for you. If you're having trouble maybe typing or having trouble holding a telephone, whatever it is, they will try to help match you up to and explore assistive technology options to help you do things more independently. Cooking, it could be anything, cleaning. There's a lot that you kind of wind up going back to do when you leave a nursing facility. You might be cooking for yourself, you might be doing your laundry again, and you want to be able to do that in a way that seems to make sense. So, kind of reviewing assistive technology is a great way to spend your time. So I'll say that is a lot of the resources we use in Out and About. And then we also have pulled up a resource page that we will send to anyone who's interested that outlines some of the resources I just spoke about, the MTA mobility, Maryland housing search, Maryland accessible telecommunications, the assistive technology program. And then we have other resources that we're going to talk about as we have time. So does anyone have questions about anything we just said? The email addresses, the websites, the telephone numbers, all the information is available for the first set of resources that we just spoke about.
I see you guys are working with NAMI also.
That is a resource that we refer people to, okay?
You
And we
serve people with with people on the go also and shared support.
Yep, we work with people on the go, shared support.
Shepherd Pratt,
Yeah, we do refer people to them. We have clients who work
Caring
with them.
Communities too.
Yes, we have
Yes.
clients that work with all of these people. So, around the holidays, I think there's always like this need to, find something to do or to take up your time. The holidays can be very difficult for people, or they can be
And Autism Speaks also.
absolutely. That's a great one.
Are you familiar with NCIA or Sura Inc.?
I believe so. Do you want to tell us what that is, Chioke?
NCIA deals with people with disabilities also. I'm about to send it to you in the chat.
Thank you.
And this one right here too.
Well, we will
called
add those to our list, Chioke.
Sura Inc.
Okay. Now, some of the resources we have here are just warm lines and just some for mental health, because maybe sometimes during the holidays people may feel isolated or get lonely, especially like even in nursing facilities. Maybe you were hoping to transition before the holidays and you didn't, and it might be making you feel sad. So if it is making you feel sad, we don't want you to feel alone. Obviously, the Out and About team is here, but there are also some other resources, like if you need someone to talk to and it's not an emergency, you just want to talk about how your day is going. The warm lines are a great resource for that. Let's see if I can get that to come up. Control and click. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure why I'm not getting that. That might be something wrong with my Excel, but the national helplines and warm lines are available, and there is a directory for those. And if you want access, you can go to the NAMI website for that. It's www.nami.org. And that just gives you numbers in case you just, again, want to talk to someone. Maybe you don't want to talk to family members yet per se, because maybe, you're thinking about things that maybe you don't want to share with your friends and family, but you just need to talk. They're really great for that. We also have 988, which is a Maryland crisis hotline, in case you're feeling that, you're just really not doing so well and you want to reach out for that. There are also updated COVID guidelines available on the NAMI website, and they have a comprehensive list of peer support groups and emotional support or financial support services. We have the National Mental Health Consumer Self-Help website. There's a resiliency guide. There's a Maryland Mental Health Association. So there's some resources out there. if you want to reach out. We also came up together, like actually we have a listing here that was put together by some of our folk who've been in groups with us year after year after year. So some of the things they do to connect might be doing a virtual support group. Some of the resources we have above do have virtual support groups that are available throughout December and over the holidays. You could video chat or a phone call with a friend. You could create a group video chat by entering a topic or theme, like such as a book or TV show to talk about. You could even talk about self-care. You can set a day or time to play phone games with friends. You could write someone you care about a card, a letter, or have a virtual dinner date or party. You could do something nice for someone you know, or check in on loved ones who live alone or have kids, like, or ask others to check in on them. You could do a positive and safe challenge on social media. We say that because some of the social media challenges are like, interesting and maybe something you don't want to try at home. Then share it with friends to complete, draw something, express gratitude, share a picture. You could start a podcast or interview someone in your social network. Let's see, you could pick a friend to interview to try to find out something you did not know about them before. You could join a social media conversation. You could watch live streams such as like religious services or performances. Some people said they play charades on video chat or participate in a class or a webinar. Sometimes it's nice to learn something new or learn something about, things you might be curious about. There were also some self-care and self-soothing ideas. You can find 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, and 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. That's just a fun, silly activity to do. And if you maybe tag someone that you know and say, hey, let's do this, you guys can compare what you found out. You can they say it is healthy to keep a regular morning and bedtime routine, take a bath or shower, meditate or pray, engage in mindful movements such as gentle yoga or walking, or just even stretching, whatever kind of physical therapy works for you. You should definitely try to keep that up because it can help to make your body feel a little better, and help keep your range of motion. Enjoy some comfort food or beverages, put lotion on your skin, get dressed, set limits on the amount of news exposure or conversations about distressing topics, and only use reliable sources to get your information. Like, it's okay if you don't want to talk about the things or watch what's on TV all the time. You don't really have to. It's a good thing to maybe have a list, like something like this, that you can say, well, let me go down this list and see what else I might want to do today. You can write down something that gratitude. You can take deep breaths. You can validate your feelings and nurture them by observing and checking the facts or engaging in opposite actions to change those feelings or problem solving. They say recite mantras, set realistic goals that feel moderately challenging, like not too easy and not too impossible, so that you don't get stressed about it, right? And it says limit and avoid mood altering substances. Kiana, do you want to talk about the other ways to distract and improve the moment?
Yes, you can watch and show a blog episode or a movie. You can use the phone or computer to check out music videos online, like either celebrity interviews or watch popular YouTube channels or different like short videos. You can play card games or like Candy Crush. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. You can work on a puzzle or like Legos or like those Nani block sets. Um, you can do a little online window shopping, which makes me want to spend real money. You can clean out and organize your closet or room, go on a virtual Disneyland ride via YouTube. You can stream a culture event such as a concert um, uh, or the opera. You can take a virtual museum tour. You can do your makeup or give yourself a manicure or pedicure. You can give yourself a hand, foot, or neck massage. You can journal, which I do a lot of. You can listen to music or soothing sounds. You can hum or do a sing along. I love some karaoke. And I love this one too. You can watch a tiny desk concert on NPR or
Love them.
WIPR. Yes, they are so good. Yeah. And you can learn something to feel productive. You can take an online course. You could work on a self-help workbook. You can listen to a podcast or audio cast. I love true crime. You can read a book or article. You can practice a skill or hobby. You can learn a skill via YouTube, such as public speaking, or organize your room. Make a activity schedule for the week that includes at least one fun activity, a self-care, and one achievement task. And you can make a list of things you did to cope with past challenges. And you can write a blog entry on a topic of interest or a movie or book review. And I've done a lot of blogs, me and Chris.
Mhm. Does anybody have any other fun things or just interesting things or just anything that you feel that you go through with the holidays? Any things that you do? Any plans?
Well, I'm gonna be volunteering at People on the Go, Maryland.
That's wonderful. That is
Yeah,
a
I'm, I
great
know
thing.
I'm gonna. I know you're gonna. Any of you guys going to Club 1111?
Kiana
So
is.
I have been to Club 1111. I've
Oh, you
always
did.
loved it. I used to volunteer all the time. And actually, Sandra keeps asking for me to take her. So I did tell her we may go and party on in December.
And for people who don't know, Club 1111 is located at the League for People with Disabilities. And I shouldn't even try to take a stab at this, but isn't the address 1111 East Coast?
1111 Cold Spring
You
Lane.
got
Yeah.
that right.
Yes, it
Did you
is.
know they were on
Mhm.
TV back in 2019 on the Today
Yes.
Show? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Yup. Are you guys familiar with Heavenly Grace Assisted Living?
Mm-hmm.
You do? You know Brenda West?
I don't know if I know Brenda West, but I've heard of the
I have her number if you wanted me to give it to.
Go on and send it to me, Chi, okay? That'll be great.
Sure. Yeah.
All right,
Here
and
it
I'm
is.
going to be mindful of the time because it looks like we are at 2:52. And I just want to say this was an amazing webinar. This was very refreshing to get together with everyone. And I'm going to lead the throw it over to Kiana and Chris just to see if there's anything else that you'd like to talk about, any announcements. And I hope
You
everyone
guys
has a
work with
great weekend.
chimes, don't you?
You know we
Chimes
do.
in the art. Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Well,
Chris,
thank you.
so I know this is Chris, so I know Chioke uh, mentioned in-person activities
Yes.
and this has already been marketed, so I believe I have permission to announce it. We do, in fact, have one more event, which is in person, which is in December. And that event is called Chat and Chew.
Chat and Shoe. Where's it gonna be at?
It's going to be on December 7th, and it's going to be at BISM, Blind Industries and Services of Maryland.
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to make that. I'm gonna be at People on the Go that day volunteer.
Okay. Well, sorry, we'll miss you. But it's going to be a sharing of holiday recipes, and it's going to be a live cooking class.
Because I know you guys work with
So-
autism on the go, don't you?
So, yeah, so for
Yeah.
those of you who, like to cook or like to eat, I'm in the latter category, but, if you want to get the experience of it and you just want to have some fun around some friends, come hang out at, BISM on the 7th.
Awesome, thank you.
And the registration, I don't know where the registration link went. It got buried in my email. But Susan has the registration link, or the list rather, for this event, so we can get that out to everybody.
Yes, and the last wellness event for December, we tried last month to do a yoga event in person, but we did you know, Create Calm still wanted to offer our consent people the option of attending a yoga event, and that will be virtually. It will be December the 18th. So that will be our last wellness event for 2024.
Go.
And yes, and hopefully if we find some money, we can keep this going.
Right.
That's wonderful. I'm gonna ask you to repeat that one more time, Kiana, because I may have earlier said that this was the last one. So what is the new one we have there? That's exciting.
So yes, the last one will be December the 18th, and that is going to be a virtual yoga event. Yeah. Yeah. So we have 2 more in December, and I really hope everyone will be able to join.
I'll definitely keep an eye out on that emails from the wellness program then, so that we'll get that notification. Thank you.
You are so welcome. And I just want to shout out to my Out and About team, because I would not have been able to do this on my own. So Chiffon, Tiffany, Crystal, I just love you all.
We love you too. That's why we're here, honey.
Yes, girl.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. And thank you.
Are you guys familiar with Life Unlimited?
All right, y'all. It is 2:57, so I think we're gonna get out of here. So the recording will be available on YouTube shortly, and as soon as we can get it, I hope to
Okay.
see many of you on December 7th and more of
Well,
you
I
on our
won't,
last virtual
unfortunately. I'll
event
be at
on
POG.
December 18th. Thanks for joining us, and thanks again
Number 8.
to our Out and About team, and thanks to everybody for supporting our Image Wellness series.
Thank you. Was a pleasure.